Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. We're gonna just jump right into this video. Again, this is pre-recorded a couple of weeks ago, I think. Long enough that I remember what was in the video, but not enough to be able to just narrate this without watching it before I loaded it. But I know today is a good one. Definitely has a memorable ending. So we'll just have to wait. I know this first game is a little bit longer. The gameplay was a little bit slower, so I actually sped it up when I was rewatching the video. So, my opponent chooses to go first, and then we have our setup. And I just have an abysmal starting hand. Thankfully, we both mulligan, and I start with Squawk. So it's showing me. And judging by this hand, I know that they're playing Charizard. Charizard's been all over the meta as of late, so it's like, yeah, you're just gonna see it all over the place. They mulligan again, and this confirms that it's Charizard. And I just wait for them to pick their basic. So I'm gonna be quite honest with you. This game is longer, but it also ends very quickly. This is mostly what I spend doing, is waiting for my opponent to do something. It's about a 2-turn game, and then it ends. So, don't mind me as I kind of just talk about other stuff at the same time, most likely. So, but they flip over, they start with a Pidgey. Okay, awesome. They're gonna start their turn. And I believe they get a Charmander here. To be honest, I am increasingly impressed with the cards in the meta right now, how fast Charizard sets up. I'm playing a little Charizard with the physical cards. When I mean a little, I mean that's kind of been my new main deck for a while. And I'm impressed at how fast I can get up and running right away. I feel like almost sometimes it's faster than Raging Bolt. Which is a weird thing to say, because Raging Bolt usually attacks turn 1, so you can't get any faster. So they ended up setting 2 Charmanders up, and they put an energy attached to Charmander. I believe they pass from here, yes. Which is probably smart, because if I had taken out the Pidgey, they wouldn't have had an energy. But I want to be honest, I got nothing. So I look at my hand and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? And I Earthen Vessel away a Lightning to get another Lightning and a Fighting to just get into the discard pile. Yes, get the Lightning. There we go. I think there was a little bit of indecision about what I need to do, but then realizing I have nothing, I gotta Squawk away. So might as well get stuff I want in the discard pile. And I get absolutely nothing. Boss, Earthen, 3 grass, and an area 0. That is terrible. And so I just motivate for 20 and hope they don't have the Charizard. However, I do see the rare candy, I do see the Charizard, and I know I can concede here, so we'll just let it all play out. But it does not take very long once my opponent realizes they can win. Obviously, they would have had to get into the active, but they already have a Fire Energy on the Charmander that they rare candy into, so it's just 1 Fire Energy on the Pidgey, swap them, kill Squawk, game over. Here it is. I don't know why they put the max belt on the Charmander. Charizard already hits 1-hit KO on Squawkability. So you didn't really need to put the max belt on there unless you wanted to flex. But it might have just been someone who was still learning the deck, so this is where I concede here. And this is about the worst game in the video today, so, you know, we're doing pretty well. I know at this point I started going on a massive tear with the deck. You know, you have your high points, you have your low points with the deck, but I do think right now, I think we've probably hit a really good deck list for what the meta is currently for Raging Bolt. I have ways to get out of Retreat Lock, I have ways to boss around everything I want and chase after those megas that I really, really want because they're very, very juicy. I can get Raging Bolt up and running, it's just the sequencing of putting it all together, right? So, you know, I have to keep learning. As I keep watching these videos back, I do need to learn that I need to prioritize a Teal Mask Overpawn over a fan rotom if I don't have the ability to get both on the field. I should prioritize one over the other. But sometimes it's not helpful to prioritize one because Ogerpon's only going to give you one card, where Fan Rotom's going to give you Noctowls. So here we start the Noctowls, and or the Ogerpon. Sorry, not Noctowl. And I go first, so I know I'm not going to be able to attack this turn. So I just start to try to set up. So I dump a Lightning into the discard pile, get the Fan Rotom. I know I'm playing Mega Lucario, so I'm okay taking a turn or two to set up and kind of giving my opponent a prize or two, knowing that on the back end I'll be able to get 3 prizes, and most of their attacks are from a 3-prizer, so I'll be able to like very quickly catch up with the prize trade. So we fan call, get the 2 Hoot Hoots and a Noctowl, and then we just pass. They're setting a Lunatone into the back. Makes sense. Probably want to get some draw action in there. Obviously they need the Soul Rock. And there's the Fighting Gone. I'm assuming to get the Soul Rock. There it is. Okay. So yeah, they're going to put the Soul Rock down. Any day now. There it is. And then they Lunar Cycle for some cards. Night Stretch back the energy, I believe. And then they... I think they put it on this Riolu. Nope, okay. Again, very long turns, but I get it. You have a lot of thinking you have to do. You're not thinking about who you're playing on the back end of, that they're trying to fill dead air. So we're gonna Arven. They're gonna Arven for another Fighting Gong and an Air Balloon. I believe they want to get this Riolu on the bench. I think that's what they try to do. I've already kind of gunning for it. If I can kill it, I would like to. There's not anything I can kill with my Fan Rotom, so I have to go for a Raging Bolt here. And they actually just punch my Ogerpon in the face for 3. So I have the Latias, I have Noctowls, so this is my chance to set up Raging Bolt here and get some energies on the board. So we Jewel Seeker this one, and I know we get a Nest Ball here. I don't remember what else we get. I don't know why I almost got the last one, but grab the Nest Ball. I think they grab an Area 0 here? Thinking about it. Nope, we grab a Northern Vessel. Oh, that's because I have no energies in my hand. That would be helpful. So we Nest Ball for the Raging Bolt. And then we figure out what I need for energies. Oh, I think this is the one where I saw it beforehand. Nope, never mind. I could just grab Noctowl. I could have probably just sodded there, saw what cards I got from the Soda, and then Noctowl to finish off the rest. But I think this time I was just trying to like pad out all the stuff that I need. So I'm thinking ahead for next turn, and I think this is where I think I get a boss here. I'm double checking what I have just in the deck in general. I'm terrible at prize checking as of late. Should be prize checking more, but I very rarely prize check what I need to. And it's usually like the bare basics of what I need. So I think I get a boss here. I get a Soda and a boss. Trying to prep for next turn because I know I have switching options if needed. Get the Lightning on there, and then I earn a Vessel, the Lightning and energy away for a Fighting and a Grass. So now I have some Grass on an Ogerpon. I've got the Fighting on Raging Bolt. I'm able to attack. I can swap into it with Latias. And then we get to take the KO here. So we're gonna just put everything down. I think I debate putting the Area 0 down and then decide to wait. I also debate prime catching up either the Soul Rock or the Lunatone, but it doesn't make sense to do either of those because they'll probably just Night Stretcher them back, or they have more in their deck. Because usually Lucario decks run about like 2 to 3, so it doesn't make sense doing that when I leave the attacker wide open. As much as I want the 3 prizers, I'd rather be as disruptive as possible. So I take my 1 prize here. And I get a fan off of it. So I have some more discard fodder or the Vessel if I need it. My opponent promotes Soul Rock, which is a good one. if I didn't have the prime and the boss in hand. So now I get to kind of choose which one I would prefer. So they fighting the Gong a Riolu back onto the bench. I believe they put a fighting energy on this Riolu again. And with like an air balloon on Silver Rock, I'm like, as soon as I see the Riolu go down, I'm like, that is my next target. It is not lasting long. With the Earthen Vessel in hand, the Sada in hand, I have so many different ways to get into that Riolu, or to get to that Riolu. I am going to kill it. And then they put the max belt on it, and I'm like, that's even more delicious. I can understand why they put max belt on, probably because they were going to Lily, they didn't want to lose it in the shuffle, and they didn't have any easy way of getting it. So, we draw a Night's Rush Return, and I'm just debating how do I want to kill this thing. So, we Fan Rotom, we Earthen Vessel the Fan Rotom away for grass and another fighting to get some more energies back on my my bench, or to my bench and my Raging Bolt. So we Tail Dance for 1. I've got the Glass Trumpet in hand for later, if my opponent can ever get a Mega Lucario. I boss up the Riolu, and I debate whether I want to put the energies on. And I think I decide here I'm going to. Yeah. I decided to preemptively put some energies on there, and then my opponent just concedes there. In fairness, that probably wouldn't have lasted long. They have nothing ready to go, and I would have just continued to pick apart their bench. So it was probably better for them to move on. So we get our first one of the video, which is really exciting, and kind of starts like a nice long train of wins. Hopefully. I know so. I'm just gonna spoil it here. Anyways, so now we go into the next one, and this one's actually a really, really close game. This is for our rank up. So winning this gets us a rank. If not, we're still struggling to get that rank up. And we lose the coin toss, but I believe our opponent allows us to go second. It is not in my notes here. I started taking notes while I've been playing too. They're not great notes, but they're notes nonetheless. Which helps me figure out what I was playing. So we start with Slitherwing, and I'm like, that's not the best start. It takes 3 energies to get it out of the active, unless I have one of my other various switching means. And its attack, it's really hard to start an attack, so I actually go first here. So we get a Hoot Hoot off the draw. Great. Not the best start, but like, I'll take it. And I debate what I want to do here. So I dump a fighting into the discard to get another fighting at grass. I attach the fighting to Slitherwing, because I know at this point I'm just going to have to probably swing with it. And I believe I get a Fan Rotom here. And this is where I was debating whether I should go Tailmask Ogerpon or Fan Rotom. And this is the moment I'm like, watching back now, I think I should have gone Tailmask Ogerpon here. Because I cannot use my Noctowls until I get a Terra in play. However, by getting the Fan Rotom, I get the Hoot Hoot's 2 Noctowls. I get to place another Noctowl or Hoot Hoot down. But I am really stuck until I can get some way to get Ogerpon in play. And I'm lucky that my opponent kind of stalls here. So, turn 1, just the Charmander. They draw. They put TM Evo on Charmander, which I expect. And then they Buddy Buddy Poffin. So they get another Charmander and a Pidgey on the bench. They Lily for more cards. And I'm looking here and I'm seeing this Charmander and this Pidgey. And I know Pidgey is actually the ultimate goal here. It's not Charmander, it's Pidgey. Why, you might ask, even though I have an Angry Charizard in my face? By not having the ability to select your card that you need at any moment, it's hard to get your combo pieces. You're really relying on Lilies and Arvins to get the pieces that you need to succeed. So I'm okay with seeing a Charizard in my face because I know I can blow it up. But killing any chance at a Pidgeot right away, really helps me get ahead in the prizes and stay ahead. So we draw here, and again, I'm like, I don't have a good option, so I Sada right away onto the Slitherwing. And we still just don't have a good option. Fan, 2 Knocked Owls, Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle's not bad to make my opponent switch. But I think here I'm just going to have to take the knockout, which I don't want to do, but I'm going to have to. Yeah, I debate it for a minute, and then I just take what's in front of me. I get the 90 damage put on me, and I get my 1 prize. And this prize bails me out, because it's Tail Mask Ogerpon. I am incredibly lucky I pulled that Tail Mask Ogerpon. If I had not, I think this game would have gone a lot differently. So they promote a Charmander. Surprisingly not the Charmeleon, and then they start kind of get cutesy, I think. A lot more, and obviously I don't know what's in their hand, but like, I probably would have tried to get into Charizard right away, or try to get your pieces for your Pidgeotto. By promoting the Charmander and then sticking a fire on Moltres, it's like, okay, where are we getting out of this? I suppose the 40 damage on Slitherwing probably wouldn't have killed it. I'm not doing that math right now. I don't want to do that math right now. But I think that's the case. It wouldn't have killed it. But now you've just left the Charmander in the active. I put down that Tail Mask Ogerpon as fast as possible. Teal Dance for 1. And then I believe I start trying to get a Raging Bolt up as quick as possible. The idea being is I need to get my position, like a very solid position here. So I know I get a Nest Ball and I get an Area 0 off of this Knocked Owl. Area 0's got to go down first, and then I need a Raging Bolt off of the Nest Ball. And there's the big boy. So now I can Knocked Owl again. I'm like kind of debating how do I get energy into the discard pile to set up Raging Bolt so that I have it sort of set up for next turn. So I'm like kind of debating this. I think I just go for an Earthen Vessel here, like a Knocked Owl Earthen Vessel. Yeah. So I Knocked Owl, and off the Jewel Seeker, I think I get an Earthen Vessel here. When I could have probably just gotten a Crispin, but that's okay. Earthen Vessel, and I pick up the Prime Catcher. I think to just kind of get Raging Bolt into the active, because I don't have any Latias in play. So I Earthen Vessel away the Lightning. I get Fighting and a Grass? Fighting and a Grass, there you go. That's the last of the fighting in my deck. I don't think I'm counting here, because I think I run into an issue later where I forget what's in my deck. But there's a Fighting. I Sada the Lightning onto Raging Bolt. I get 2 Crispins and a Grass. And then I decide to Prime Catcher up the Charmeleon, I believe? No, Pidgeotto. That's right. We had this whole discussion about how I want to go after Pidgeotto, and I do. So I go after, I get the Prime Catcher, and I kill the Pidgeotto here. And I leave energy on Raging Bolt to make it a threat. So my opponent has to kind of choose between one or the other. I sort of kind of regret it, because I believe the Charizard comes up next, and I have forgotten the Charizard can one-hit KO Raging Bolt after taking 2 prizes. So they promote the Moltres. Oh, I think this is the one where Moltres kills. Moltres actually does do something here. I think it takes out Tail Mask Ogerpon if I remember correctly. So there's a Bomb, which I don't know why they're playing Bomb as their ace spec. That's a question. So they Super Rod back, I think, the Pidgeys. Yeah, the Pidgey, the Pidgeotto, and a Charmander. And then the Counter Catcher up the Ogerpon. There it is. And then they kill it. So now I don't have a Terra in play, which means I need to get rid of some cards. So I get rid of the Knockdown here, I believe. Yep. To make more room. I know I can pop Iron Bundle to make more room if I need it. But I don't feel the need to do that just yet. And I promote Raging Bolt. Not sure why oh, because I think I can get... I think at this moment I think I can get Crispin. But I Ultra Ball away for another Teal Mask Gogapon. And I'm thinking, oh, I can just Crispin for fighting. I think this is the moment I realize I can't do that. So we Teal Dance for 1. Because I only play 3 fighting in this deck, as we all know, and I think I forgot that 3 fighting are in play. So I grab a Lightning and I grab a Grass. And I put 1 on the Bolt, and I think I attach from hand to Bolt. And I do the thing I hate doing the most, and I actually force a physical retreat with Raging Bolt. Losing 3 energies, putting them into the discard pile is just gross. But I hyper bundle the hyper blower the Moltres out of the active, so I don't have to worry about the bomb. And I think they promote Charmeleon here. Or yep, they promote Charmeleon here, so I feel safe going into Slitherwing. So I retreat here, ew, gross, and I pull out Slitherwing. And I know we're gonna trade prizes here, but I feel comfortable kind of doing this, so I do. Killing Slitherwing, and I kill Charmeleon at the same time. And then we both get a prize. And so now we're like 3 piece. I know this is kind of an arms race at this point. So I send up Rotom as fodder. And now I'm trying to figure out what to do. Because I have so many in the active. I have Superior Energy Retrieval. I don't think my brain thinks about it right away. I'm thinking about the Charizard that's probably coming out shortly. And I know it does come out, but it takes a little while longer. But I'm looking at that, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? This one, I think they retreat into Tatsu. Yeah. They retreat into Tatsugiri, and I think they're looking for a supporter. Unfortunately, this means that unless they have like a jet energy, they're not getting their other Pokemon into the active. But they Dawn. They get a Dawn off of the attract customers, and they're able to get a Charmander, a Pidgeotto, and a Charizard. So they're able to rare candy into a Charizard finally. And then I think they also evolve into a Pidgeotto here as well. Yeah, they put an energy on Tatsu. I think they were intending to retreat, not realizing they already did retreat. So then they decide to use it to their advantage here by TM Evoing to get 2 more Pokemon up and going. And we're kind of like at the end of the game, so like I don't know how useful this move was, but they get a Charmeleon up, no Pidgeotto, and then it was my turn, and I have the kill right in front of me with Fan. I have Iron Leaves in my hand, as long as I have the energies out. So we Teal Mask for 1, or Teal Dance for 1. I get a Sada. And I'm thinking about what to do next. And I'm like thinking, okay, I have enough to kill Charizard with Iron Leaves if I need to. So it's just making sure I have the energies in play to do so. And make, Raging Bolt's a threatening Pokemon to kill. So, Sada, put up another Hoot down. I think I attach this energy here. I know, I'm thinking about putting the Iron Leaves down. And then I realize I can't because I don't have any way to switch it to Charizard, so it's like better hold on to it. And I think about nest balling for another teal mask ogre pawn. And I do here. And I think I might teal dance, yeah. For one. And at this moment, I need an energy from Fan Rotom to kill Tatsu, because I think at this moment I realize, oh, I can just kill Tatsugiri with Fan, but I know I'm also debating, do I want to go down to 2 prizes, because the Charizard has Briar, it's all over. But I think in this moment, this is the moment I'm like, okay, I need to make a decision, I need to go with it, so I'm going to bring the Tatsu down to 2 prizes. You know, if they have the Briar, great. If they don't have the Briar, that's it. They don't have a Pidgeot to go get the Briar, so they're going to have to get the Briar somehow, and it's not going to be with Tatsugiri. So I Glass Trumpet some energies onto my Pokemon to prepare them in case I need some more energies for either Iron Leaves or Raging Bolt. And then I Earthen Vessel away a Crispin, because I know it's useless anymore, and I get a Lightning Energy. It's the last one in the deck. Thank the Lord. And I put the energy onto Fan Rotom for the kill. Just double checking to make sure that they didn't use Briar at all, or they didn't pick up Briar at all. Because that was my biggest concern, is that like they've been having Briar in this hand in this entire time, and I just wasn't paying attention. But they didn't, so I'm like, alright, they're not getting Briar with Tatsu, so they better pick it off the top. And, there's a Squawk. And then here comes the Charizard, which is, I think they're gonna kill Raging Bolt here. There's a buddy. I think they start thinning to see if they can get it, but there's no way to draw at this point. They might be looking for the Briar in their deck. Just waiting on them to select something now. Just waiting. I think this is them trying to figure out how to get Briar to get the kill or to get the win. So, but once I see Arven go down, I go, oh, that's it, game over. No Briar. So, they counter catch Raging Bolt? Yes. Which is a good move. In theory, was a great move on them. Counter catcher up the Raging Bolt so that I can't, like, kill Charizard, because as of right now, I'm all basically set up. However, I have the Iron Leaves in hand. I had the Levincia in hand. So, and I have Ultra Ball, so if I wanted to, I could have gone Raging Bolt. I could have gone Iron Leaves. Instead, I just make this easy. I'm doing the math right now as we speak in this recording, trying to figure out if I can kill it with Iron Leaves, because I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% sure. Realize I can, so I put in the Iron Leaves, fill them up with Grass Energies, because that's what we got, and then I go for the kill. And that's this game. All thanks to Iron Leaves, a card that I really didn't want in my deck, but now I'm finding it's super useful, and I didn't realize how useful it was. And there was my boss, so that was good. So, there's another win on the board. We're up 2, and we're going into what I think was probably the funnest game of my recording session. A little bit of, like, fun backstory. I got my brother playing the game, and he built this deck, so we'd, like, level up a little bit. Oh, and this is the point we rank up, too. Because we actually go to Houndoom rank. And here we are, we're at Houndoom rank, so we're actually leveling up, which is good. That's 2 videos in a row that we rank up here, so we are slowly moving our way up the ladder. So I go into this next game, and like I said, backstory, I got my brother into playing the game, and when he started playing, you know, he starts with like the Gardevoir battle deck and stuff, just like everyone does. You start with one of the battle decks, and then he started trying to look for cheap decks to build. Obviously, Pokemon is a much more cheaper game, but like he was looking for really cheap decks to build. And he ended up settling on the deck that we play next. And the amount of nights I played with him and him just tormenting me with this deck, it felt really good to kill it and like just be in control of the game. So, start Raging Bolt Latias. I've been trying to bluff what deck I am. So, if I have Teal Mask Ogerpon and I have Raging Bolt, I've started trying to just stay with like Teal Mask Ogerpon or Latias. Trying to get people to think like, oh, they're playing Gardevoir. Oh, they're playing Terrabox, and let them play accordingly. So I see this opponent, they set up a Relicanth and an Artisan. I'm like, oh, Relicanth. It's probably Archaludon. I've seen a couple of them on the ladder. And then I see the Totodile drop, and I'm like, oh my god, we're playing for Ralligator. And I get so excited. Because, like, again, this is a weird deck I haven't seen on the ladder as much. Like, it's just a fun little deck that people have been playing. So I'm like, yes, I'm in. Let's go. So, I know now with the cape on and the Totodile, that Totodile's a menace to society and it must go. So we Artisan, thank you for the Artisan, we're using it for Fan Rotom, and I Nest Ball, I think for Teal Mask. I do put Raging Bolt down here, and yes, this is game, okay. And I get the Ogerpon. And now I'm just trying to decide how do I want to set up to get what I need. So I Teal Dance for 1, because getting energies on the board is always a good thing. And then I go for a Crispin. And I just set up the Raging Bolt here with the Crispin, so it really doesn't matter what I put in my hand, but I put the Lightning in my hand, the Fighting on Raging Bolt. And with the Prime Catcher, I'm able to just pull up Totodile, pull up Raging Bolt even though I hit free retreat, and murder the Totodile in front of me. I definitely forgot the fan call here though. And this is not the first time in any of my recording sessions I have forgotten the fan call. I think I was just so excited to kill it that I was just like, I'm just gonna kill it. So I think that 2 was gonna do it, then I realized, oh, 2 is only 140, so I have to go to 3. I also forget that because of Luxury Escape, I get 2 prizes instead of 1, so it takes me a minute to realize why the game won't let me just take my 1 prize. So now they're forced to promote the Relicanth again, and they have to Artisan again. So I know that another Totodile is probably coming up. Instead, my opponent goes for a Mimikyu. Which, okay, now I have to play around the Mimikyu. So that means I need to keep something that's not Raging Bolt powered up. And luckily we have Fan Rotom, and since he didn't fan call because I forgot to tell it to fan call, we're gonna make him be a bully. And so then I start kind of looking at my energy count. I'm like, alright, I gotta remember, I gotta keep 1 on Fan Rotom. I gotta, like, take out this Mimikyu. So they settle for the Mimikyu. And now we wait. And then they Lana's Bade back a Totodile and a Water Energy. So now they've got another Totodile. And Totodile again becomes victim, like, number 1, especially now that it's got a Water Energy on it. I'm not letting that Bite Lock get set up. That's just really where it comes down to. I do not want that Bite Lock set up. So I put the Iron Bundle down. I put Hoo-Hoo down. I've realized here I've forgotten the fan call, and I'm like, well, that's just not me. Not bad. Teal Dance. I get knocked out. Cool. Not able to do anything with it, but that's okay. So I Hyper Blower, and I'm like, depending on what they give me, that's what I'll go into and I'll attack with. So I just kind of wait, and I think they give me the Mimikyu here. Because the Relicanth does nothing. The Relicanth's not going to hit me at all. It's only here to enable the Bite Lock to be set up for the Feraligatr. Or, you know, doing the retreat with the Feraligatr. So, like, the Relicanth means nothing here. So they give me the Mimikyu. Okay, so now I need to plan to kill this Mimikyu. So I sought an energy onto Raging Bolt preemptively. Get another Hoo-Hoo, which I think I put down here. Yep. And then I think I put this energy on Fan and retreat into it. Yep. I don't think I get too fancy here. I'm just like, yep, yeah, I just retreat right into it. Because I'm not going to get too fancy. I know what the kill is, just assault landing for the knockout. So I assault landing for a knockout, I take another prize. Sada, not bad. I think they promote the Relicanth again. Nope, they go right into Totodile. Again, Totodile is victim number 1. It does have Big Bite, and I think my opponent forgets to use it. Because they definitely put another cape on this Totodile. And would have slowed me down if they had just Big Bited me. It wouldn't have slowed me down long, but it would have slowed me down enough. They just Big Bited me here and kept my Fan Rotom locked in the active after they put a cape on. But they Night Stretcher back for the Mimikyu, because most of their strategy relies on being able to hide behind the Mimikyus in between, you know, attacks. And they counter catcher up the Hoot. Yeah, so they counter catcher up the Hoot Hoot. Oh, they do Bite Lock here. Yeah, they do Bite Lock here with Hoot Hoot. But I have the Knockdown in hand, so I know I can get out of this Bite Lock. It's just how do I want to get out of this Bite Lock? So they get another cape, they get another Buddy Buddy. They played a Buddy Buddy, I think, to get 2 more Totodiles. And I'm like, okay, cool. They're starting to get set up. I'm going to start seeing for alligators here shortly. And there's the Big Bite. So now I know I can't retreat with Hoot Hoot. So I'm going to kind of get a little fancy here. So, but they didn't put a cape on this Totodile. So I think about it for a moment, and then I knock Dowel onto the Hoot Hoot. I Jewel Seeker, and I pick up a Turo, because I decide, like, hey, I'll just recycle this Knockdown. That's fine, and the Hoot Hoot. So then I debate about what I want next. What am I going to need for next turn? Now that I have 1 free card, essentially, to pick out of the deck. I think I go for Nest Ball here, or Ultra Ball. Nope, I go for Area Zero. I think at this point I decide I'm done with them being able to search whatever they want. I pick up the Knockdown, which frees me from the lock, and I go into Fan here. I was thinking about Raging Bolt, thinking they had a cape on, and then realized they didn't have a cape on, so there was no point. I Knockdown again, and I can't remember what I'm looking for with this Knockdown. What am I looking for here? That Terra animation is driving me insane. Pokemon needs to fix it. I know there's a patch going out on Tuesday, so I wouldn't be surprised if that fixes the issue, but I've been noticing the client's been all sorts of buggy as of late. So I get a Nest Ball off of this, and I think I get a boss. Yep, I get a boss in here preemptively. They can Ione me as much as they want, but I wanted the boss in hand just in case. So I replace the Artisan with the Area Zero, put down another Hoot Hoot. Yes. And I think I put something, I Nest Ball for something too here. Oh, we Earthen Vessel away the counter catcher because we know we're too far ahead that this is not going to matter if I have the counter catcher. They're not going to catch up at this point. I Teal Dance again for 1. Get a Fighting. Cool. I load up the Raging Bolt. I think I put the Nest Ball in play. Nope, I just Assault Landing. And I'm now down to 2 prizes. So basically, this game's kind of all over. As long as they don't like rare candy into Feraligatr, which is not the point of this deck, I kind of have this game in hand. So they put the Mimikyu down. Okay, another Mimikyu I might have to play around. And then I think they put the cape up. Yep, they put the cape up. And then they Ione me. Not a big deal. I have Raging Bolt set up at this point, and I'm Ione down to 2 cards. There's nothing here that I specifically need. I think at this point it's just getting Raging Bolt in for the kill. So, and then the monkey gets a cape as well. Woohoo. And so now I just need to go in for the kill. And I believe that's what I do here. After my opponent passes. Because I think they were having problems with energy that day. Because they just couldn't. But then they put in energy and Mimikyu, and I'm not really sure why. I probably would have, again, I would have bite locked here. And just hope I didn't have the answers to that bite lock. Because I've already used my Turo. But I would have had the answer here. Now that I'm looking at it, I have an Ultra Ball, so I top deck an Ultra Ball, so I could have just Iron Leaves for the kill. So I realized, I'm like, oh, I think I'm bite locked, and then I realized, oh, I'm not. So just time to go into Raging Bolt and just get my 2 prizes. I think for a moment I don't realize I have these 2 prizes. I definitely know I don't have these 2 prizes right away, and I'm like, I'll just take my 1 that's right in front of me. So I'm carefully like picking through like what is going to go into the discard pile, and then realize after I hit OK that there was only 2 prizes left, and that was very satisfying. So it definitely tells me we're on the right path in terms of like lock decks, which seem to be pretty prevalent in the meta with the Voltol and Totodile and some of these other like bite retreat lock decks, or pieces that like, you know, this deck's list is pretty good, and I'm like writing my notes down in that moment. That's why it's taking a little longer. And yeah, it was a very productive video. I think we had a very good productive video. I look and I realize we're only like 1 or 2 pieces off the ladder before we're in Great League. We're getting there. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.